Hi, I just wanted to check in. Tonight is the last night of our holiday break and the girls head back to school tomorrow. And I'm not even ashamed to admit it. So I'm not even ashamed to admit that I really haven't done anything with their hair since about Christmas Eve when we went over to some family's house. So I'm going to give you a quick look at what their hair looks like right now. Then we're going to wash it. And I'm gonna have them wash their bodies, and then when they come out, we're gonna do a deep conditioning. I'll share with you a little bit about that before we set that up. And then I'm sure I'm gonna run into some knots, so I'm gonna share a little bit with you of the knockdown of the knots, and then how beautiful our curls look going back into school. This is what May's hair looks like. I don't know if you can tell. This is just a mass. This is what happens is like her hair starts to knot down into the rest of her hair, and it creates quite a mess. So can you take that out for me, please?
Yeah.
I know she's been wearing her head wrap every night, but I know that Joe has not. So if you can just see in here, there's absolutely going to be no way to just run a comb through her hair, even a brush. Nothing is going to go through that web in there. So that's why I thought it'd be a good time to kind of share with you how I'm going to work that out. And so you can go ahead and head that way. Come on. And here's Joe, and she's not as bad. She's got, can you take your ponytail out? But you can see that she hasn't been wearing her head wrap really at all. So she is really dry on the sides. She's got a lot of fluff going on here, a lot of frizz. And there, she just got her. So she's got lots of little knots going on here. Plenty of knots in the bottom. And the bottom underside here just looks completely matted into itself. So that's what I'm looking forward to showing you, is how I'm going to get these knots out, which are basically akin to like dreadlocks. I mean, look at that. That is almost looks like it's matted to itself. So I'm gonna put them in the shower. I'm gonna wash their hair. You've seen how I wash their hair before, but once I get them out of the shower, they're going to get all moisturized up, their body, and then I'm going to put a deep conditioning in their hair. We'll share with you a little bit about that, and then we're going to let their hair set for about 15-20 minutes, and then once we get into actually doing the comb through, I'll bring you back in, especially for my worst parts. The girls are holding each of their own deep treatments. May's going to get a argan oil. She's also got the shower caps, and Joe is going to get a keratin treatment, and they're both going to get a lot of extra olive oil around their faces. Now, May, turn around real quick. I want to show them. So this is, once we go into the comb out, this is a prime knot for showing you like how to get a detangle going on, because do you see how that is all one connected mob? Now this first part up here I might get out when I'm putting the deep conditioner in, but I know that this web that it's connected to, this one right here is where I'm going to get to show you how to take down a knot. So this is going to get good for you. And I'm good at this now, so it's not going to be hard on her. And Joe, you want to turn around? Mm-hmm. Joe is, her hair is not the same curl pattern as May's, so it doesn't mat the same way, but you can see that she still does, like right here, she's got a spread of knots. It kind of makes a web. So it looks like we're going to have at least a couple of chances to show you how to take apart a knot in Joe's hair as well. So we'll check back up with you in just a
minute,
and we'll show you what the girls look like with all their hair up in their little shower caps, and then we'll check back with you when we start to get into some of the knots.
Hope we have a great time.
So we're back, and turn around, girls. So we've got the girls all tied up in their little shower caps, and we're gonna set a timer for 15 minutes, and we'll probably start with the easy one first, and then we'll move on to
the funny thing is like the hard one. And the funny thing is, look, easy is low, high is very hard. It's the high level and the low level. Get it? I young, she old.
I've got Joe's hair opened up here, and I'm just gonna start by trying to get something of a part going here. Now, can you come in close? So see here in this knot, the best thing to do for knots is to just kind of keep slowly opening up the web like that, because there's plenty of conditioner in here. But see, if I just kind of keep working that in my fingers, then I can get that web to open up. And that web is the knot. So see, can you look up? So now I have that opened up. Okay. Now let me find another knot in here, like here's a good knot. Okay, so when you've got a knot like this that looks just almost impossible, like I said, one technique is just to kind of take and keep opening it up 1 or 2 strands of hair at a time until you get the knot completely released. Another technique is taking like the rat tail end of a comb and kind of going into a knot and pulling the pieces out. And we'll go up here and I'll show you. So right here. So by coming into this knot, I can just kind of keep pulling into the knot until I get it separated. So that by using this technique with the end of a comb, that's how I learned that I could just use my fingers to come in and separate and open up a knot, you know, and then if I need to, I can just come in one time with a comb and get it opened up enough to slide completely through. So those are a couple of good examples, and I'm just going to go ahead and open up a little bit more here so you can see there's another big web. And that's kind of the source of the web. So I'm just going to come and slowly let that web open up. And that's almost her whole side section right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get that separated out. So even though this looks tough, I'm going to sit here and take my time and go through and open up. See, like here, this is a great example. And Joe, is this hurting?
No.
Yeah. But there's plenty of conditioner in there, and from the deep conditioning. So that's another really important thing to know, is that you're going to want to have a lot of moisture in there, either in the form of a conditioner or some type of oil. Now here's another just mesh of knots. And I'm going to get that all to the front. So then I've got her front section opened up. And now when I go into this section, I have to battle all of this. So I'm going to get this opened up first. And I'm going to come in here and make this cut. And I'm going to open up this knot. And the natural thing to think is just to come in here and start doing that. And I can do that, but all I'm doing is pushing all these knots down to the bottom. And you can spend all day with these, just combing them down and jerking their head and doing all this stuff. But I promise you, if you just take the time to open it up with your fingers, it's going to go so much faster than just sitting there and raking at it with your comb. So I'm going to go ahead and finish getting this side opened up so that she has 3 sections. And see, this is the other place that my section is catching. So I'm just going to come down here and open up this web like that. Real gentle. I'm not pulling hard on this at all, because I don't have to. It's, you know, it's a simple little web. And if you just sit there and work each hair out of the knot real easy like that, you'll find that it's a lot easier than to go back in with your comb and get it moved down the line. And then once you get it down here, then you can go back in there and open up those little pieces, and then that knot will completely open up for you. So remember, you want to have lots of conditioner or lots of oil on there, and then you can use your fingers or a comb to get into a knot like right there that you can open up with the comb and then spread out with your fingers to get that knot opened up. Here's Jo. She comes all the way through now. And I just rinsed out a little bit of this. I don't rinse it all out. I just rinse kind of the heaviest part of it out. But she's all loosened up, and she probably took about 15 minutes, and May is the one that's going to take a super long time. So we're going to get Jo twisted up into her head wrap and warmed back up. Put it down a little bit, we can't see your face.
This is my head.
I've got May split up into 2 sections here, and I'm actually gonna probably make this a section like a top and a bottom so that I can give some special care to her baby hairs. So I just wanted to bring you in for, trying to find it now, this section right here. If you can,
Sorry.
if you can kind of come in here. I'm just gonna I'm gonna take this section here and I'm gonna just kind of work it from the base, and I'm gonna comb just until I hit a little row of knots. And I'm barely moving the comb. And then once I come down here, then I can free up all this hair that is not knotted. Okay? Now again, if I try to go into this, right here is where my knot line is going to stop. So I can go directly into where my knot line is, and I can open it up with the pick end of my comb like that, and open it up in such a way, or you can use your fingers to just slowly start bringing the strands away from the knot section. And so that's what I'm doing, is I'm just slowly opening that up so that then I can be able to comb it once it's separated out from these main knots. And there's another one right there. See, now I'm going to get in here with this comb, and I'm taking away those pieces in the middle that are keeping that all bound up. And you just kind of pull at it a little bit. It's like they stitch themselves together. So now I'm just going to open it up a little bit more with my fingers. And I can pull out more strands. Now I'm going to go back in here and work on this knot for a second. See, I've got it right there. And I can tell it's just one piece of hair that's keeping everybody bound together. And now I got in the middle of it. Boom. So see, I got that all open up. So now I can pick up those strands right there. And you see I can comb much more fluidly through there. There's a bit of, yeah, see, look at that. And I can come all the way down to the end of those strands. And that looked like it was really difficult, you know, but that's the first piece that I took out of that big mass. And I'm going to set it to the side. And this, remember, was where I actually started. And I'm going to go back in and I'm going to comb till I hit that knot. And then I'm going to use this to kind of pull down those hairs. Now I got a little bit more open up here. And I'm just slowly moving that down, because if I go any faster, she's going to be flipping all around and acting all crazy. So I might as well just go slow. I'm going to comb down till I hit my knot again. And sometimes you can come down here to the very bottom and work from both sides. So I'm going to kind of work up to my knot mass right now. And I'm going to kind of work down to it. So down, and then this is the very bottom of it. So then I can come in with this part of my comb and open up some more. And then I can just comb the rest of that down. She's got some meditative music on in her ears, so she's probably what she's humming to. So now we've gotten both sides of that knot taken care of. And this is, that's that whole original section that we started with. And now we can take our comb and go all the way through that. So that's kind of 3 different little ways that you can go about a knot. You can, you know, like we were doing, you can just focus on opening up with your fingers. You can use the comb to work down to the knot and then open with your fingers, or you can use the pick into the comb to open it, or you can take your section and you can work it from the bottom and from the top until you isolate your knot in the middle, and then pull it down more with your pick end. Okay, so I've got 1 section, 2, and then I split these 2 sections up, and I'm all done with this section, and this is where I'm going next. So I just want to show you kind of, I got to thinking when I was working on this section right here that I should have kind of showed you how I work, you know, from like left to right when I'm working on a section. So I'm going to start by showing you that here in this section right now. What I like to do is I start, you know, on my very far left side, and I just start with the smallest section that I can separate out. And like I said, I kind of start from the top and I comb down until I get locked up, and then I kind of slowly start working my way from there down, and then I stop and I come down and I clean up my bottom, so that once I'm gonna work both directions. I'm gonna work up a little bit and I'm gonna work down a little bit. So here I'm working down, and then I'm gonna work from the bottom up, and then I'm right there where I've met up with myself. So now that whole section, I can keep them separated. So now this whole section right here is pretty well done. It needs about one more comb through. Yep. And it's done. So then I just lay it to the front and I grab myself another section just about that big. And I use my fingers just to get everybody separated out here. And then I'm going to get a clean mark from up here. And I'm going to start at the scalp, slowly working towards the bottom. And then when I get about to there, I'm going to come back to the bottom. And I'm going to do a little bit of work from here. And if anything's really tight, then I'm going to work with my fingers. I'm going to loosen everything up on the bottom. And when I've got that opened up, I'm going to come down a little bit more from the top. And if I get into any areas that are really tight for me, then I'm going to use my pigtail and I'm going to come and loosen myself up as I come on down the edge. And then I'm going to come from the bottom a little bit more. And right there I'm meeting my middle. I'm going to open it up just a little bit more with my tail. And then I've got another section that's been combed through. So it seems tedious, but it's going to be a nice comb through for her, and it's going to be a wonderful way for her to start school. And like I told her a couple minutes ago, it was really nice to have a week and a half of not having to comb every night. So this is a little sacrifice that we have to make. And the bottom section maybe took me, what do you think, how long do you think you've been gone? Maybe
20 minutes.
You think it was 20 minutes?
Yeah.
It seemed like it was more like 10.
Maybe 10, 15, I don't know.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to continue on, and the next time you see her, it'll be after she gets rinsed, and we'll just show you how pretty she looks when she's all done. So I'm back, and I actually cleared the whole rest of her head in like 15 minutes using that technique. And I know you don't believe that, but I don't lie. Okay, so I'm going to show you just a little quick comb through of her beautiful hair so you can see all those beautiful little waves. And then I'm going to twist it up, and it's good night time. Okay, so see, now the comb just goes smooth like butter right through her hair. I hope you enjoyed learning how to take down some long overdue holiday knots in the curly hair, and I hope you have the best day or night, whatever it is for you. We'll see you again soon.